Should. Right. Okay. Hello and welcome. I'm Sandra Pollock, and I am the founder of the Women's Awards. I'm also the founder, CEO of, what's the name of my company? Open Mind Training and Development, and lots of other things I do as well. And this month, those of you who are on my mailing list and on my network, you know that during this month, October, we celebrate Black History Month, and I invite a few of my friends and colleagues to join me for a live session where we talk about Black History Month. And my guest today is the wonderful and amazing Lorraine Lewis. Lorraine, welcome.
Morning, Sandra.
Great to have you here. So, I know some people may not know about you and may not know what you do, what you get up to. So, why don't you tell people a little bit about you? I know that you run a charity. I'd like you
Yeah,
to tell us about that and maybe why you started it also.
yeah, sure. So I am co-founder of a charity with my husband called the Lewis Foundation, and our aim is to provide gifts and support to adults as they go through cancer treatment in hospital. And the reason why this was founded was because my mother-in-law spent probably about 4 years in and out of hospital in Leicester Royal Infirmary and Northampton General, where we live. And for us, it was a time where we identified that for adults going through cancer treatment, there was a lot of loneliness, boredom, fear, and just not know where to turn whilst they're going through treatment. So the charity was created to alleviate those feelings that people had based on our observations. So
Wow.
that's why we created it to help make a difference to people and make the journey a little bit easier.
That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. And it's something that I always say, if life shows you something, you have a choice.
Yeah.
Do something about it, and you also have the choice of not doing something about it. But I do believe that we are shown situations like that to challenge us as to what we want to do about it. So I'd say congratulations to
Thank you.
you on take and your husband on taking up that challenge. So how many people have you managed to support since you started?
Yeah, so we give gift packages every time we go to the hospital each week. So I think since we started, it is about nearly 50,000 gifts we've given in a
Wow.
5-year period. So
Wow.
it's grown a lot from when we started. Initially, it was 657 gifts in the first year, mainly because people were like, why are these people wanting to give us gifts for free and they don't want nothing for it? And that was a really hard concept to get across at the start. Who are these two people? What do they want? So as the momentum's built over the years and people have realised actually there are people who will generally give things without anything in return, more people have accepted the gifts and support that we've given. And it's just something really simple, just simple things like a puzzle book or a blanket, but it's made a huge difference to somebody in hospital. So yeah, it's grown in terms of the number of gifts we've given out a lot bigger than we could have ever imagined.
Yeah, yeah. So what was the hospital's response when you first started reaching out to them?
Yeah, so we initially started in Northampton General Hospital, so that's where we're based. And my mother-in-law spent a lot of time on the adult cancer ward there. So they were fully aware of who we are, and they used to see us bringing in gifts for patients. This was before the charity even started, and going around and speaking to people. So when we had that idea of actually let's make this a reality, and let's make it a charity, we approached them, and they were on board and supportive because they had seen us in there for the last 4 years, and they knew that what we were seeing was actually something that was needed. So they were willing to support the implementation of it. So it was really great to have the support of the hospitals to make it possible.
That's wonderful. And with the situation we're in now, which is the pandemic, how has that impacted it? I guess I've got two questions.
Yeah.
One is how's that impacted, but also with all of the care now required, that touching things and all of that sort of stuff. How have you dealt with that?
Yeah, I mean, that was like a real learning curve overnight as to what we needed to do. The hospitals were still saying, if you can continue, please continue, because visiting has been stopped. So people have no contact or no form of support. So what can you do? So we worked with the hospitals to create like an isolation process for our gift packs so that we could deliver it to volunteers' houses. They would isolate it, they pack the gifts, then we isolate it again, and then it makes its way to the hospital. So it changed how we operated from all the volunteers meet together, say on a Monday night, and then the gifts go out on a Tuesday, to like a 2-week turnaround. So we had to keep making sure that everybody was like on it, like following the systems, so that there was never a gap, so that we knew that patients throughout that period wouldn't go without. It was a really hard period because for us, fundraising is predominantly how we get our income, and that went overnight. But what we noticed is because we continued to go out there and we were continuing to support people going through cancer treatment, businesses could see that and they were reaching out to us. They were giving us products for our gift packs. They were giving us monetary donations as well, so we can actually afford to keep going. And it really created an amazing community of businesses, individuals. What can we do? What can we give? What time can we lend? And everyone just came together just so that people that were stuck in there knew they wasn't alone. And even though the distance, we all rallied round to make sure it kept going, just to help people in need.
That's great, because my next question was going to be, well, how do you get all of these gifts? Because 50,000 gifts packages is a lot.
It's a lot. So we have 29 different gifts now that patients can pick from when they're in the hospital having treatment. So
hold on a minute. Patients also get to choose?
Yeah.
Wow.
So they get to choose. So we didn't want people to just have a bag of things that they didn't want or need, so then it was wasted. So working with the patients, we've created things that people have identified. If they're in hospital, this would really help me. So it can be things such as you're rushed in and you've got no toiletry, underwear, just the basic things to make you feel good. So we've got like an overnight pack, and it's got different size underwear in it. It's got socks, toothbrush, toothpaste, shower gel, just the things to make you feel a bit more human. We've got things like pocket radios or magazines or neck cushions. So when patients are in there or they arrive at hospital, there's a gift list and they say, that one would really help me today. And that's the one they receive. So it makes it a bit more personal as well. So that when someone receives it, it's like, this gift is specifically for me. It makes me feel good. And then they can take it home with them once they've left. So yeah.
So do you have a storehouse or something that you?
Yeah, we do. There's one point where like myself and Lee, our house was overtaken because donations just kept getting off, and we couldn't even like walk past each other in the hallway or see the TV without moving boxes. So we got funding during COVID from the postcode lottery, and that enabled us to have a proper storeroom where we could store all the items properly. But they also gave us enough funds that we could create our own community hub, so that now we can all be together again. The volunteers can come, and we have a place now of our own where we can pack the gifts and meet and just get the community involved. So it's thanks to funding that's really helped us during this last period to make that possible.
Yeah, that is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So I didn't know you before probably about a year ago. And I say this because we've met through the Women's Awards, which I'm the founder of. And you were nominated. This is what I love about it. I get to meet so many amazing people. You were nominated and obviously went through the whole process, went to the judging panel, and the judges chose you as the 2020 winner for the Outstanding Woman with Community Impact. What was that like for you?
It was amazing because the 2020 was such a hard year, and from like sometimes it was even from day to day, didn't know whether we would be able to continue. Could we do the work we do? Sometimes I just felt like I couldn't keep going because it was just really, really hard, and I really, especially missing connections with people, my family, I really missed them. So it felt like a battle, 2020. So to receive that award in recognition of being able to keep going and being able to continue to help people and just make things a little bit easier, it just made it feel like, actually, I know sometimes you can't always see the good, but the fact that you've been nominated and recognised is you are actually doing good, and you need to believe that and believe in yourself. And it's easy sometimes, you just get swept up in the day to day and you don't think about it. So it was nice to actually celebrate and take time to reflect.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. So do you think it's made, and yeah, I'm bound to ask this question. Do you think do you think winning that award, the Women's Awards, has made a difference to you and or your organization at all? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I'd like to hear really people's experience.
It did, because it opens up people's eyes to like the work you do, who you are as a person that has never heard of you before. And then you have build new communities and new connections that you can work with and get to learn about. And through it, I've got to know other people that I never would have crossed paths with and have really great conversations, especially like when we had your in person, when you did the presentation as well. So I found like it's built really good connections for us. But also it was just amazing to be able to just celebrate with so many different people. And we need to celebrate, which we don't do enough. We just work.
Yeah, move from one thing to another to another. Yeah.
So just to have like people to celebrate with and a platform to do it and be supported. I just thought it was amazing. So thank you for creating it. Thank you, Sandra.
Pleasure. The pleasure is all mine, because that's what I want to see. I want to find, outstanding individuals like yourself to raise their profile and let people see the amazing work that women are doing and men are doing out there. So we've got Jane. Good morning, Jane. Jane says, good morning, Sandra. Amazing charity, Lorraine. Well done.
Oh, thank you.
So one of the other reasons that we're here this morning is to talk about Black History Month, which here in the UK we celebrate and put a focus on in October. What does recognizing Black History Month or celebrating Black History Month in October mean for you?
I think it is a really great opportunity for people to be showcased, and there's so many people, amazing people out there doing so many good things, and often it's not noticed and recognized. And I know this month is a month to celebrate that. I wish it could be every month, particularly personally, rather than just 1 month, because I don't think 1 month is enough to highlight the amazing people who are out there and the works that's being done. But what I have to say it does give you is that final opportunity to do that. And through this month, I've met so many people and heard so many stories that I never would have heard if it wasn't for the fact that we're highlighting it on this one occasion. So whilst I do think it's important, I do feel that it's something that should be done all year round. And I know that might not be what the answer you want, but I generally believe that it's something that should be done, not just focused on 1 month.
Yeah, no, I don't have a answer. Your answer is fine, and I actually agree with you. And there is more talk about looking again at the school curriculum and how the history of the UK and the history of the world is taught, because the impact of Black history impacts and has impacted on everybody, whatever your ethnicity, color, gender, or whatever the case may be. So in the work that you do, and you're amazingly busy, because we've been juggling time. So I mean, in the work that you do you encounter any issues based on your race at all?
I think I wouldn't say it's been particularly to do with my race, but it's from observations, things I've noticed for patients. So, for example, sometimes when you're in the hospital and like it might be like a Black person or someone from an ethnic group, they might be waiting to see that you come in so they feel comfortable to have a conversation, or they might want to ask for a particular product. So, if, for example, they need a certain skin product, because that's going to help really alleviate their dry skin, or they need a certain hair product because the products they're being offered is not suitable. So I think from that perspective, that's where I've really identified that there's this gap and a need. And it has been something that we've been able to speak to the hospital about, just to be a bit more like mindful of the fact that, there are certain things that people can't use, but they don't want to say it because they feel embarrassed. So I think it's just looking at, in terms of what I've identified, is what do people from different backgrounds need whilst they're going through that journey, because we can't all be lumped in the same box and say, what applies to one person applies to another. And I think that's something that I've really noticed that needs to be worked on.
Yeah. So what sort of what would be one tip that you would say to an organization like a hospital to help them help patients overcome that reticence to asking for what they want?
I think it needs to be where people feel that they can, and that there's people that also look like them, so they feel comfortable. And I think that's a big thing, is that people need to see people that look like them,
Yeah.
so they can feel like they can have those conversations and identify. Because what is said is like, there's no point, people just say there's no point me speaking to that person because they're not really going to understand what I need. But
Yeah.
then they say they see me come past, they're like, oh, she knows, like, I need
Mm.
this particular thing for my hair. I can ask her about that. So it is about being in the work environment, or whatever environment it is, having people that are from all
Yeah.
backgrounds,
Yeah.
so that people can have those conversations and feel comfortable.
Absolutely. It's about, organizations really taking the benefits of inclusion
Yeah,
seriously, because it not only benefits the service you give to your users, but it benefits your organization as
yeah,
well.
definitely.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, so where can people find you and find your charity?
Yeah, so in terms of the charity, our website is a really good place if you want to get in contact and find out how you can support people that are going through treatment, whether it's like donating to support a gift pack, or giving your time, or just getting involved and learning about what patients need whilst they're going through their cancer journey. So the website is www.theLewisFoundation.co.uk, or find me on LinkedIn, Lorraine Lewis. I'm usually very active on there, and I really like it as a platform because it enables me to build really good connections with people on things that I'm generally interested in and want to learn about. So those are the two best places if you want to find out more, or yeah, just have a chat with me.
Yeah. So I was going to ask this question before. How many volunteers have you got? Because
Yeah, so
wow, you do a lot.
we've built up a really good base of volunteers. So at the moment, it's just around 50 we've got. And a lot of them are people that have had cancer, they've been through the journey now, and they want to give back to help others, or their family members and friends. And that's really valuable, because then when we're going into the hospitals, or when we're in the community and we're engaging with people that are currently going through cancer treatment, there are people around that they can talk to and relate to. And it's just nice, because then it creates a really good community where people really generally understand what is the needs of somebody going through cancer treatment. So I'm really proud that we've got that group of people that are willing to support us in this way.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what the situation is, and it's one of these questions that I'm sort of
Yeah,
hesitant to ask. But
yeah,
this started as a result of your mother-in-law going
yeah.
through that process, and what's been the outcome of
Yeah,
looking at
I
your
mean,
mother?
we had a really difficult time, because during the journey of my mother going through cancer treatment, my father-in-law died just unexpectedly, had a heart attack out of the blue, and then we took over caring for my mother-in-law. I mean, for her, that was heartbreaking, because that was completely unexpected, but she made it. So
Mhm. Oh,
so she
yeah.
made it through to the end. She's in remission now, and she also gets involved in the charity, helping out, going into the hospitals with us, and then patients can speak to her as well, and she gives them hope. So yeah, difficult
Yeah. So
balance.
yeah, that's
Yeah, but it's possible.
really sad.
Yeah,
Yeah, sad loss of your father-in-law. But it sounds like your mother-in-law has a little bit of a focus, something,
yeah.
to help her move forward and help
It really
people.
has, because I mean, from it, she's no longer able to work as a result of what she went through. So this gives her a purpose and a drive to keep going. So it's great. It's great to have her doing that, and that she wants to do that as well, because it's so easy to say, like, I've been through that, let me just shut it down and pull it out of my mind. But no, she generally wants to help too, to make a difference. So
Wonderful, wonderful. So what's your plans for the charity
yeah.
looking forward?
Yeah, so what we've been doing is doing a lot of more wellbeing events for adult cancer patients in the community. So putting on days where we get a lot of questions from patients to say, I don't know how to like manage my diet, or how do I exercise, or what's happened, how do I look after my skin and nails and hair, because everything's changed since I had chemo. So we've started that during the pandemic. It's something that we identified was a real need for patients because they kept asking the questions.
Mm.
We started to do them online, like wellbeing mornings, and we'd have like those speakers answering the questions that people had, doing like yoga online and a bit of entertainment. We even had like a virtual magician, which I didn't think would work. It was actually really good because I was quite dismissive, but actually it was amazing. So just to break it up, so it's not just all like quite heavy, make
Mhm.
bring some fun to it. And they've worked really well, and we didn't think they would. And the amazing thing about it is we've been able to connect with like other cancer patients around the country.
Mhm.
So that's something that we're really going to focus on next year, because the aftermath of COVID is the knock-on effect for the mental health and what people have been going through. We've identified it is probably going to be needed even more
Yeah.
as a result. So yeah,
Ab-
that's what we're working on.
Yeah. Absolutely amazing. I don't know how you do it all, but it's absolutely amazing. And I just want to encourage you to continue to do this work because clearly there is a need for it. And you've shown that, we can try and create something positive
Yeah,
out of a negative situation that has happened to someone in our family or even to ourselves.
yeah,
So thank you so much for that. And the theme, so as we tie up now, the theme for this year's Black History Month is proud to be.
yeah,
So the question to you is, can you share with us some of the things that you are proud of? What are you proud to be?
yeah. No, thank you. No, I'm proud to be in a position where, like you said, that you use that period of pain to create something positive, and it's given me a purpose. And I think sometimes things do happen, and like you said earlier, I do generally believe things happen for you to be put on your path to find out what your purpose is. So I'm really proud that I've, with my husband, I've been able to create something that's making a difference to people's lives on a daily basis. Sometimes I don't even realise it, or I may never know what impact we've had as an organisation, but it's helped make somebody feel a little bit better and help people keep going. And I'm just proud that I'm surrounded by amazing people who keep me going, encourage me to do my best. Meeting people like yourself is important because it's another person in your network that
Yeah,
you feel like, yeah, this person makes me feel good. They're supportive, they're encouraging. And I'm just proud to be an individual who's just trying to make a difference in the world. So,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely wonderful. And I'm proud to know you. Proud to have you in my network too.
I love it.
And you mentioned it earlier on. I was so pleased this year that we were able to finally bring all the winners from the
Yeah,
women's awards together to have that in-person trophy presentation event, which the wonderful Lord Lieutenant of Leicestershire
yeah.
attended and presented, and all of our other sponsors as well. And the weather was perfect, wasn't
That's
it?
amazing. It couldn't be more perfect. We're sitting outside in the sunshine, and the setting was so beautiful. It's just, yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
the
Thank you.
amazing
Yeah,
Wotton House as well.
beautiful.
So, I look forward to catching up with you again. And, if I can be of any help, don't hesitate to shout
Thank you.
and keep doing what you're doing because you are making a difference in this world.
Thank,
Lorraine Lewis, thank you so much for joining me
thank you for
for
having me.
chatting about Black History Month, and great to have you doing what you do as a proud, wonderful, amazing Black woman here in the East Midlands. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. So we are hoping to have one or two other sessions. It's just the last week of the month. And it's been amazingly busy. So I've done so many things. In a couple of days, I'm up in Manchester. Let me just grab my information here. Um, Taking part in the Black History Month celebrations, which is brought to us by Inclusive Companies and Auto Trader UK. So it's an event. You can do it online as well. So if you want to find out more about that, um, go to Inclusive Companies events. You should be able to find the information there. But I've been asked to co-host that event, so really looking forward to that. And no doubt I will see many of you as I'm out and about for, the rest of this month. If you want to join me for a live, there's still time. We might be able to squeeze it in before the end of the month. But let's celebrate Black history throughout the year, whatever we do. I'm Sandra Pollock. Thanking you again, Lorraine, for joining me today. And we will be back again soon. Love and light. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for the loves I've seen coming up in the messages. So, love and light. Take care for now. Bye bye, all. Bye. Bye.